Ready, set, go.
Okay. Well, we're here. We're queer. We're football-loving satellites.
Yeah, boy.
And I'm queer.
Yeah. Welcome back to Lanky Audio Theater presents John Boyce's 20,020. Last we left our heroes, Nick and Manny had a bit of a fight about the way Nick handled the whole locomotive lateral pass.
It was so sad.
Oh,
It was very sad.
the drama.
Yeah. We don't know if they're both going to be able to make it across the desert at the same time with the amount of time that Manny spent on that train.
What was it, like 40 seconds?
It was like it was a whole minute,
Mm-hmm.
which yeah.
And remember, one second takes 1 year to generate, basically.
You earn 1 second off the field by staying on the field for 1 year. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of precious time lost.
Yep.
Which is
But
wild to think about.
yeah,
We met a terrible chess player.
Oh yeah,
we met a terrible chess player. Well, it wasn't just the player that was awful; it was also the chess itself.
Yes.
The chess I could have forgiven. It was the player that truly ruined it.
I'm not forgiving either.
Oh dear.
Dude, that fucking broke my brain.
We know.
Yeah.
I just had so much fun delivering those lines personally, so
I'm sure you
made
did.
me legit fucking angry.
I know, buddy. All right.
All right. Let's get started here. And
Make
Starting
sure you
with
drink
juice.
those water
turn
first.
off. I have had water, yes.
Make sure you drink your water.
I mean, I'm not talking yet, so I can drink water while it looks like Juice and 10 are talking first.
Okay,
So
you ready?
Yeah, boy.
I am ready. Let's get going.
Who was talking?
You see the rear Commodore. Don't capitalize. You only frighten it. Vanderbilt Commodores have been the scariest to see in recent times. Just months ago, they sent a team of 57 up to Michigan. They managed to pop the ball loose, and now they're trying to beat back home with it. They're in southern Indiana now, which is normal conditions. It is a spaghetti dungeon. So busy, most ball-carrying teams prefer to avoid it altogether.
You mean Spaghetti Junction?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? I like Spaghetti Dungeon. That's what it's called now. Just a bit northwest of Louisville, the fields of Vanderbilt, Purdue, Middle Tennessee State, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Troy, UNC, Kentucky, and Ole Miss create this mess here. Vandy is now enjoying the same hospitable climate as benefiting San Diego State. Damn near the whole country is bum rushing Georgia Tech's field, which is many miles east. They have encountered virtually no resistance on their way south. They let their guard down. It's the perfect environment for a predator.
You're letting out a lot of David Attenborough energy. I like it.
Yes! Is that the set it and forget it guy? What?
Yes, that's exactly who that is.
A 57-player offense against an 8-player defense is more or less what I've been waiting to see for weeks. All I really want to see is whether those 8 have a plan to not make it look bad.
If I were UAB and wanted to actually take my awful chances, I'd probably just take my chances and call a 0 blitz.
Lady, you can't call a 0 blitz every time.
Not with that attitude.
Then again, you do call blitz and somehow create a turnover in the resulting panic. You're then an 8-player offense against a 57-player defense. What then? UAB doesn't have to play Vandy here, right? As long as they don't issue a challenge, they can just walk on through.
Yep. They're going to play what's important for y'all to know is this. The University of Alabama Birmingham is the greatest team in college football. And it ain't even fucking close. They're better than Michigan State. Better than everybody. It's been this way forever. For a while, they were the top-ranked team in the country. UAB used to stomp all over the country in this giant one-player offense. You never ever see offenses like that now. It's like, you know how prehistoric creatures were big as fuck and got a lot smaller over time because being big as fuck wasn't sustainable? Well, that's what they were like in the early days. They'd back up a couple of footballs and just go on tour all over the country, across everyone's fields.
That doesn't make any sense. Just out in the open?
Oh yeah, it was a damn parade is what it was.
Sounds like an intimidation tactic.
I guess. I mean, it can be useful to scare the fuck out of your opponent in some cases, but in this case, it just made everyone in the country got serious about carefully hiding the footballs they had. I think it kind of worked against them, honestly. They did this for fun. They were the best, and they wanted everyone to know it. They wanted to bully the fuck out of everybody, every other team in the nation. And you know what's wild is nobody could ever do anything about it. Nobody could stop them in their 100-player offense, not even with another 100-player offense. No matter how many times they tried. Purdue sent the house after them. Wazoo, USC, Colorado, Michigan, Ohio State, everybody. It was like they were all part of the christening, just glass bottles shattered against the hull. They never forced turnover on downs, or a fumble, or an INT.
They all fall eventually, though. Every dynasty ends. Every superpower slips up. It's inevitable.
No, it turns out it's not. UAB ran a 100-player offense they called the Steamroller. They developed it for a couple hundred years, and when they were ready to show it to the world, you know what they did? They didn't keep it quiet. They didn't make their opponents spend endless nights in the film room studying maps, trying to figure out what they were doing. They printed out their playbook on posters and shipped them out to everybody. Like, here's what we're doing. Here's exactly what we're going to do to your stupid ass. Do something about it. The disrespect.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's about the scariest thing I ever seen.
God!
7 quarterbacks?
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
each one specializing in something different. Like, let's just take the 5 up top. Robinson was a dispatcher. She'd take the shotgun snap and immediately pitch it to somebody else. Never even stood in the pocket with it. Never tried a forward pass. Never tucked and ran. Her skill is in reading the defense, knowing who to pitch it to, and never ever fucking it up. QB2 was Bev. She got the pitch. She'd make literally one read, and if it wasn't a home run, she'd get rid of it. At QB3, Cox was the same deal, except in some cases he'd cheat. Right? Look it. To his right was basically a conveyor belt of receivers heading upfield. Sometimes he'd just tuck in with them and use them as blockers to run up the right side, if the defense was lined up favorably anyway.
This whole thing is like a chemistry set. How often did he do that?
Probably like 1 in 20 plays when it worked. You can imagine how tough it was to bottle them up. Great option to have. Now, QB4 and QB5. In a lot of situations, they were dispatchers like Robinson to shuttle the ball to where it needed to go. They did some pretty fun shit in cases where they had 2 footballs.
I'm guessing in that case, 2 linemen just become centers.
Yep, correct. And these centers were so good at long snapping, they could direct snap it all the way back there to them if they wanted. Then these 2 could spend all day making their reads and popping off the throw. I remember one time Aston had the ball, right? And they find a target, the receiver Walker, and throw. And then Morris pitches the ball, and they now get to try 2 completions on a single play, right? They chuck it to Walker again, and he catches it again. Real funny to watch a receiver bring a ball down with his free hand while he's already carrying one.
QB7 looks like he'd have enough time to smoke a brisket.
QB7 was the funniest part of all this. It was mostly built around Yamauchi and his particular skill set. This man was one of the best distance throwers in the nation.
That's 300 yards here.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about how we can't expect human beings to change in meaningful ways. They still have marital problems and stub their toes in houses they lived in for 1,000 years, etc., etc. at a point, expecting further improvement, people was like asking a tree to learn how to fly. But one of the things they did get a lot better at over the last 18,000 years or so was throwing fucking bombs. If you train and condition the right way, if you develop the right mechanics, you can chuck it to goddamn Norway. Yamauchi's longest completion traveled 587 yards in the air. Trouble is, of course, it's real tough to maintain accuracy over that distance. It's dangerous. There are way safer ways to advance the ball that are just as effective. They didn't let him throw that often. But holy fuck, was it a sight when it happened.
That leaves QB6 as the primary quarterback.
Yep. Valentine's incredible. Valentine's like, name one of the old conventional football quarterbacks, anyone?
Troy Aikman?
No, like a good one.
All right, Aaron Rodgers?
Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Good pocket mobility, strong arm, extremely mistake averse, terrifying accuracy. All things Valentine has in spades. But most important is her ability to make reads. The other 6 QBs on the field are very good at this. The way Val can make her reads, it was like watching someone sitting on a park bench on a nice day, leisurely reading, analyze that cover to cover. I mean, sometimes they would empty out most of the backfield. They'd send damn near every eligible receiver, the 8 deep wideouts, the 19 standard wideouts, tight end, 8 running backs. That's 36 screens she had to make. She also had lots of pocket protection. Even the biggest, scariest defenses took a good 30 seconds to get to her. It should not be legal for someone like Valentine to have that much time in the pocket. She would just eat the fences alive. It wasn't even a...
I'm sorry. It took me a minute, but I think you think Analyze, that was a book.
Alright, I'll be honest. I saw and analyze that lunchbox and assumed it inspired a book at some point.
There was a... Hang on. Tell me about this lunchbox.
It was like a lunchbox. It had 2 guys on it. And it said, analyze that on it.
And you thought they wrote a book based off of it.
Yeah.
So, like, the foundational work for an entire book would be a lunchbox with 2 random guys on it, and the words analyze that with no explanation or context?
Sure, why not? Seems like there's a lot there.
Never mind.
I love it when you stop punctuating. It's like you're groaning. It's endearing.
Fuck you, there's nothing endearing about me.
True. All the charisma in the Pioneer family was passed down to me. Where's Valentine now?
Still there. She's still on the team. UAB stopped doing the parades a long time ago, which sucks for her. That's what she was good at.
So what happened?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? Why don't they have any footballs?
Oh, yeah, some important shit to fill you in on there. But first, I'm receiving word from myself that we have some live action down in Indiana. The 8 players from UAB have sprung up on Vandy and are challenging the scrimmage play. Oh, God. Ew.
Game is very broken.
I know I'm new here, but that offense looks hideous.
Yeah.
Break it down for us, if you would.
Well, this formation is known as the leapfrog.
The leapfrog? Come on. I thought we put this to bed in the 14,000s.
You know how people are, though. Can't stop trying stuff that doesn't work. Unfortunately, sometimes bad ideas work just often enough to stick around. The other side of the leapfrog is that it's easy to run if you're lacking talent, confidence, courage, ability, heart, ambition, those sorts of things. The main criticism I have of the leapfrog formation is that it's a bunch of stupid fuck shit.
I love this.
It's run primarily by losers, scrubs, clowns, chumps, suckers, marks, herbs, and even by busters on occasion. What we got here is 5 centers. Essentially, the one up top shotgun snaps to the second center, who then pitches back to the third, fourth, etc., until it finally gets to the quarterback. Quarterback enjoys protection of several offensive lines. In this case, 7 groups of 5 linemen. He's got 8 wideouts on each side of the field. plus a tight end. So basically, he's got tons and tons of time to choose between 17 eligible targets.
It's safe to the point of irresponsibility. Yes, the quarterback gets a pocket way behind the scrimmage, but he could literally take a nap back there if he wanted to. It is also totally passive. Your receivers will run out of stuff to do and routes to run. They have to improvise. You're basically just hiding in your house, peeking through the blinds, waiting for the neighbors that you don't get along with to go inside. To do this, you outnumber the defenses 57-8 and is scaredy cat shit.
I mean, if you were to be scared of a mouse, it'd be this one. UAB's only got a rowboat's worth of players here with the talent they're putting on the field. There's several classes above Vandy's. Obviously, they kind of have to play zone here. That's fine, though, because there are 8 of the most menacing DBs you'll find anywhere. Terrifyingly quick, and they play all kinds of games with you too. They set so many traps for you that even if you do find a good look, you'll hesitate. Throwing into this defense is a nightmare.
Hey, at least you won't get sacked. At least you won't get your precious little clothes dirty.
Unless.
You see it? Yeah, you see it. Yeah, you see it.
Is it legal?
Is what legal?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. 100% legal.
Is Vandy that dumb?
Well, I'll put it like this. They don't get out much. There's a reason UAP picked this exact spot, the point in the map to take them on.
Oh, I see it. Yep, there. Look, one of their prevent safeties is dropping back. They're gonna try it.
That's Val.
She's still on the team?
Oh, yeah. Almost everyone you saw on the 800-year-old poster is still on the team. Few teams are as dedicated as this one. They're in it till the end.
So she's a safety now.
Yeah, and she is not all that happy about it either. Even still, she's great at it. You never even know she used to be a quarterback. It is debatable, but arguable that she's the best all-around player in the country.
She's gonna have to sprint about 225 yards to make it to the ball. Her teammates just have to divert her attention for long enough.
Here she goes. Watch the triangle, Vandy. Watch the triangle. There's triangle. Make a tap. The referee has called an end to this match at 17 seconds.
Oh my god. She's gone. It's over.
Fuck, I love it so much.
All that pocket protection for nothing. Holy shit, that is so funny.
You like it. You like the game, see?
No. There are things about it that I like. That's different.
Uh-huh.
Valentine.
What took y'all so long to catch up? I've been here an hour.
Well, you know Perry can't move as fast as you can.
Harry! What the fuck?
I got the wrong boots back in Evansville.
What's wrong with them?
They're dress boots. I just grabbed a box. I thought they were hiking boots. I had the wrong boots in it.
Well, your stride is all fucked up looking. You run like you were born with a dozen dicks. Get some new fucking boots!
Who cares? You know they weren't catching us anyway.
No, they weren't. We need some real fucking competition. We're gonna get soft if we don't. It's not even fun playing a team like Vandy. That shit used to be fun. Remember when that was fun? Slapping the shit out of everybody?
That was clean, though. That was clean what you did. You just put a hand out and blap. You even touch him?
What's fucked up is his blockers didn't even turn around at first. I actually turned back and looked after a few yards, and most of them were just standing around. They didn't even know what happened. It was like I stole somebody's purse on the sidewalk. Some of these teams out here, man, they've got no heart. Does Vandy have anybody who's been on the team more than 100 years?
Don't think so.
We're gonna get soft. This is the only competition we got.
Shit, I won't complain. Easier for us.
Fuck that.
You've been cranky all day.
Yeah, no shit.
Cranky even for you, though.
Well, we forgot the boats. Every time we move through here, we forget to pack the rafts.
What's up? We got a lake coming up?
Look, past the tree line.
Ah.
Quarry water's so fucking nasty. I don't want to swim through that shit. Just sits there like toilet water. Mosquitoes everywhere. They gotta start killing the mosquitoes.
They're God's creatures. We can't kill the mosquitoes. Don't start this again.
They're nasty! What do they do for anybody?
Well, do you vote?
No.
You got no right to complain then. If you want to get rid of them so bad, cast your vote.
I don't do politics.
Activist Valentine Jones is elected to suspend her campaign for United States Senate. The announcement was made from the campaign's headquarters. Although I've reached the difficult decision to suspend my campaign, I will not abandon my fight against mosquitoes, Jones said in prepared remarks. I remain convinced that we can and will find suitable alternative food sources for bats, birds, toads, and all of God's creatures who feed on these bedbugs of the sky. Jones ran as a member of the Fuck Mosquitoes Party, a fringe movement dedicated to the nationwide eradication of mosquitoes. Following some key congressional wins in the mid-12300s, public support for the party has waned in favor of pro-mosquito conservationist sentiment among the voters. As of Friday, Jones was polling at 14%.
Maybe it wouldn't be such a problem if we didn't have all these quarries sitting around. Look at this. Look at all the stones they dug up. It's just minding its own business for millions of years in the middle of Indiana, and they dug it up to build, what, a strip mall or something? You see a big majestic building around here? Seriously, what the fuck do you think they even built out of it?
Hell if I know.
And now we gotta wade through it so somebody could build a Baskin Robbins. You know what we should do? We should go up to Bloomington. We should play IU right now.
That ain't in the playbook.
I don't give a shit.
I mean, what for, though? They've got 80, 90 players up there, and you know they don't even keep their ball there.
Yeah, right. Gotta get some reps in. We got one play against Vandy. It's not enough.
You know how stupid that is. The job was to grab a football and bring it back north to the house. That's how we win, one ball at a time. That's always been the plan. In the meantime, we run scrimmages to stay sharp, we scout out other teams, and we plan for them.
It's not the same. You know it's not. Look, we can take on 90 Indiana bums with our 8. You know we can. And you know Memorial Stadium's a horseshoe. We won't even have to grapple up the walls or anything. No turnstiles or gates or anything. We'll have to pass through. Come on.
No. I mean, no, it's not the plan. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and I know it's an issue. I know we gotta stay in game shape. There are smarter ways to do that than this. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. I'm the coach of this football team, and I'm telling you no.
All right. All right. God damn, I thought winning would be different.
You know this game's all about waiting.
I always knew that, but like, I just ran up and stripped the ball without touching anybody and picked it up and ran a long way. That ain't football! And now I'm about to go wade around in mosquito piss. And that ain't football either.
It is now. Whatever it used to be doesn't quite matter. You could always quit.
Ha! Yeah. Every once in a while, I think about that. And then I think, well, what the fuck else am I gonna do?
The 21st and 22nd centuries were wild times. After people around the world stopped following it in 2026, humanity was obsessed with learning why and how this was happening. Of course, while other countries still found time to rebuild Antarctica and build flood walls, America left the stove on. It impacted everyone differently. This is how it hit Alabama football. Oh, it hit Bama? Good. Now, in its early days, UAB was always an afterthought, sitting in the shadow of Alabama and Auburn for the football program. Even shut down Tyler for a while. Before everybody hollered about it and brought it back, there were plans to move to a brand new state in 2021. An economic crisis hit and plans fell through.
What kind of economic crisis?
Hell if I can remember. Point is, they had to stay put in their old ass stadium. Fast forward a few decades, and all of a sudden, UAB is primary standard breaker for the most football crazy state in the nation. They've been waiting on a bowl game with this snag group for thousands of years. Naturally, when they got it, they went all in. UAB recruited the top talents and scrutinized every yard of the field from the jump. They were the best team in the country. But more importantly, they understood this game better than any other program. No matter how great you are, this is a game of scouting and waiting and staying patient. If you recover a football, it'll be decades, even centuries before you get another. In the meantime, if you sit high on the scoreboard, you become a target, right? You don't want that. I mean, look at what happened to Georgia Tech. In order to stay off the radar, UVA decided to hide their ball somewhere off their field. This is generally very risky and has ended disaster for a few teams. But it's a good thing they ever moved into that new stadium. Because if they did, their field couldn't reach. Here. The Standard Rock Lighthouse sits dead in the middle of Lake Superior, just 200 yards from UAB's field. It is the loneliest place in America. It is remote, obsolete, abandoned, and forgotten by virtually everyone, except for the University of Alabama Birmingham football program. Though you won't see it on the scoreboard, they have 17 footballs, and they keep them all in this lighthouse. Wherever they gain a football, they roll out and drop it in.
This doesn't seem safe. Someone's gonna find it. I mean, it's a lighthouse. The invisible is the entire point of the lighthouse.
It's funny, right? People built a building that screams, "Hey, idiot, look at this, look at me!" And then they forget about it. Doesn't show up on maps, and understandably, it doesn't occur to any team to go dick around the lake, especially out of bounds. It's the genius of UAB's game plan. Everyone thinks they're a bunch of zeros and can't hold on to football longer than a few months. But they know they're winning. They're the fastest, strongest, and smartest, and they keep all their assets under the table. They're going to win this, and they know it.
Roll Tide.
Roll damn Tide.
Y'all can sit anywhere here at the counter you want, or feel free to take a booth.
What do you think? You want a booth?
Oh no.
Let's do the counter. Let's be the counter crew.
Oh yeah.
Got a new recruit gonna...
Yeah, we got Bryce here. He's gonna be our new QB too.
Well, congratulations to our newest Trojan. I knew it was a special occasion. Y'all haven't been down here in too long. Bryce, you ought to be honored.
Oh, it's a big day, Linda. Big day for our new guy here.
Well, I sure hope you enjoy. The menus are right there in the rack with the salt and pepper. Y'all take your time and let me know when you're ready to order. Oh, and y'all want... I can put on the football.
Oh, yeah, please, that'd be great. Tell you what, Bryce, I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of the reason I've been looking forward to this is sitting at a counter and getting a hot plate of food. I could have put my order in a month ago, Linda. I could have stuffed it in an envelope and mailed it to you. 3 eggs, sunny side up, double order of hash browns, and a side of sausage. Tell you what, The only eggs I've had all this year are scrambled eggs that come out all rubbery. So it's hard cooking on a propane stove.
Oh, you've got one of those little ones, right?
Yeah, it's just one of them tiny little jobs. And a little steel mess kit. And if you don't wash it right after you eat, it's hell to get the eggs scraped off them. Half of me wants to quit and ask you for a job. At least I'd get a nice flat top to cook on.
You're a football hero, Gunner. Who else is gonna run the Troy defense?
You're damn right, you're damn right.
And you still looking?
You want to order something? My treat?
Some burger.
You got it.
I remember this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce. He'd wander into the game from time to time, never stuck around. I remember he used to irritate me. He was gifted eternal paradise, and not only did he not take advantage of it, it didn't even occur to them that he had been delivered a miracle. I get that self-improvement is only so important now, but Jesus, you'd think after a few thousand years, he'd at least give it a try. Instead, he just leaned on the side of his Acura hatchback in some parking lot, always wearing these cargo shorts with a gigantic white t-shirts, mumbling onto his flip phone, always having some argument with a friend over some $20 weed deal. The only thing he'd ever talk about was how he was going to install undercarriage lights in his hatchback. I checked in on him 200 years later, and he was still doing the exact same thing in more or less the exact same place. He never got those lights put in. Even in a post-scarcity world, world where you can just go to an ATM and there's $500 already waiting in the tray for you, you can just go and do this whenever you want. And he never did. He just stood around and talked about it. Then I got older, and I came to realize how perfectly fine that is. I can tell you every single thing about the Hades star cluster, anything and everything you want to know. Bryce probably thinks the sun is 100 miles from Earth. I couldn't tell which one of us is happier. You know, spend it however you want. You never run out.
This guy's cool. This guy's me.
It's why I love you. Took me a minute, though.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I won't lie to you, son. I'll tell you the same thing I tell every recruit. Our field at Troy is not a fun field. Have a look at it here. If you could just take a look at it here.
Their field is dog shit. Just a matter of bad luck, really. There's this stretch about 1,000,000 yards that runs in absolutely nothing. Like in Corydon, Indiana, there's a gumball machine. That's like it, though.
In terms of amenities, we've got pretty rotten luck. You can see we're in Ponce all the way down south, and believe it or not, this is the only place you can get a hot meal in a restaurant between here and Indianapolis. Even going through Troy, the field manages to make a clean mess of every restaurant in town. Same with all the other little towns here. Then north of Indy, it's pretty slim pickings as well. I should let you know, in Muskegon there's an Arby's, but the field only runs along the front door and the corner with the condiments and whatnot. Used to be there, they were nice enough to come around the counter and bring your order out to you, but they got tired of being hassled, so they put up a sign saying counter service only. Sometimes if you're extra hungry and extra tired of camp food, you can squeeze yourself out some horsey sauce. That's about it though. Between Indianapolis and Canada, that's it. No grocery stores, no department stores, nothing.
Man, I'll just go to another field.
Well, you see, and you know, not everybody is always happy about this, but this is the way we do it at Troy. For the first 100 years, you play defense. And you know what that means? When you're on the 25-player defensive squad, you can't leave the field. It's against the rules. But this way it's actually good, I think. By the time your 100 years are up and you're transferred to the offensive unit, you'll know every single branch of every single tree on this field.
Yeah, kid, fuck this. Get the fuck out of here. This shit sucks.
Well, you'll really be a superstar in this program once you do. The Troy football program, we really value those who know our field inside and out. Other programs think they can safely hide a ball on our field? No, sir. No, sir, they can't. We'll snuff it right out.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get it up on the TV. The cable man gave us a new clicker, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it work with the old box. I guess if it's...
Where they are and how in the world Georgia Tech allowed this to happen.
There you go, boys. Guess it's they have one of them talk shows on.
Appreciate you, Linda.
And this is what we know, Clark. On the night of October 12th, that was just 1 week ago today, Georgia Tech, who had remained one of the top 5 teams in the nation for more than 400 years, did not just fall out of the top 5. They did not just fall out of the top 25. They fell all the way to the bottom, Clark.
And you know what, Marty? I'm sitting
yeah.
next to you today with an egg on my face. I believe in Georgia Tech that when this first happened, the line coming out of the Bobby Dodd Stadium was, look, we're relocating our footballs, we've moved them off to the sideline and somewhere more secure. And I believed them. And now to find that they all, in fact, are on the WKU field, incontrovertibly points out the fact that this was a cover-up. They lied to their fans. They lied to us and America. They have no clue, just like the rest of us.
Holy shit. They're on the WKU field now, huh?
Yeah, I'll track them down. 1 second.
And what's shocking about this moment, what's most shocking of all, is that dynasties fall piece by piece, Clark. They don't collapse all at once like this. This doesn't happen.
You are absolutely right, Marty. Something like this belongs in the ancient era of this game. We're talking the 17,900s and the 18,200s. Way early in on this game, before the strategies and school of thought were clearly developed, before superpowers learned how to be smart about how they carried their footballs and where they hid them. This was a failure of leadership. There is no reason that a team in the 20,000s should be keeping every football in one place, no matter how secure it is, no matter who's guarding it, and I think the only way forward is for Conor O'Malley to step down as the leader of the Georgia Tech football program.
I couldn't agree more, and you know what? I will go further than that. I think they need to overhaul the entire program. If I'm the athletic director at Georgia Tech, I cut every player on my team. I pull in people off the street, I rebuild and spend the next 500 years training them up into a team that can win, because you know what? The sun has set on this era. It's over. No one in Atlanta wants to hear it, but it is over.
And now, of course, the only important questions for the rest of the country is who has those footballs and where are they? Speaking of that, I believe Stacy has a forecast for us. Stacy?
Yes, Clark and Marty, thank you.
God fucking damn it.
I can't believe they hired Kermit.
Again?
Wrong here.
Yes, Clark and Marty, thank you. You're expecting to see one of the biggest log jams we've seen in college football in decades. And we're certainly seeing that right now. If we get to get the scoreboard on screen, yes, thank you. If you look at the scoreboard, you can see the movement we saw in the rankings yesterday. Yep. You can see here as WKU absolutely vaults up the scoreboard from near the very bottom all the way up to sole possession of the number 3 ranking. Naturally, we can conclude here that however many footballs Georgia Tech lost, most if not all of them were taken to the WKU field. And for those who are perhaps not as familiar with this region of the field, Georgia Tech's field intersects with WKU's right here in southeastern Tennessee. That's where they cross. So that's where teams from all around the country are converging. And already, guys, this is unlike any scene we've listened to in a long, long time. We have Alabama A&M with 100 players combing the area looking for these footballs. Duke is more than 30. Vanderbilt has sent 68 players. Georgia is just southeast of the intersection with nearly 40 players. Tennessee is sending dozens. Wake Forest is 100 here now, combing the mountains. 100 from Virginia Tech are arriving. Guys, within this stretch of field, we already have nearly 800 players. Many, many more are on the way. I wouldn't be surprised to see half the players in college football underneath the West Kentucky field in a few days' time.
Stacy, what kind of search area are we looking at?
Well, Clark, it's reasonable to believe they're within a stretch of field of around 10 miles. Teams have been closing around them from both sides, and in such a number that would be impossible to hide. Or they made a shortcut straight to Michigan State and watched y'all sorry asses walk right by them. Y'all are falling for a trick in the book that immediately is brand new, but you fell for it hard. Hey, you found Nick and Manny yet?
Got him! This line is great.
Fun! They've been hauling again. What's that, 75 miles in a day?
Just about.
The woods and hills and everything. Those two have been training for this for so many centuries. I've been waiting forever to see what they can actually do on the field. God damn.
They're doing exactly what they planned to. I'd imagine they're about to cut left on the Oklahoma State field within the hour, then ride that as west and far as they can. What do you think happens once they step foot on Oklahoma State?
Well, I guess other teams can start making some good guesses. They'll know whoever took it is heading west. But Nick and Manny faked the hell out of the 1,000 players or so who had the best shot at making a tackle. They have a 75-mile head start. They are two extremely fast dudes. The other teams are in groups of 25, 50, 100, made up of players of varying speed. They ain't going to catch them. There's still some teams out west that can intercept them. I still think it's highly unlikely they're going to pull off this whole thing. But to see them even go this far is incredible. Funniest part about it all is that Nick and Nick aren't even all that good at actual football. Now, of course, we still have no information that indicates which team has the ball. But you have to figure, guys, it's a matter of hours till the ball's recovered. The only question now is what exactly it's going to look like when upwards of 1,000 players fight for an armload of footballs in and around the Tennessee Valley.
You see, son, this is the sort of opportunity we've got ahead of us if we properly execute Trojan football.
Why does he keep calling him son? They're both 18,000 years old.
Looks like Gunner's 18,040 years old and Bryce is 18,016 years old. You'd be surprised how much that still matters.
So why ain't y'all over there then?
Well, I'll be honest with you, we weren't positioned properly. We have our players real spread out right now, all over the country, and we couldn't make a play on the ball this time. But you know, that's something we hope to change as we rebuild this program. And I think, you know, if you put the work in, and you put it in for long enough, you could be a key component of that rebuilding process.
Y'all suck.
You know what? That is a very fair thing to say of us right now. We suck. But you know what the exciting thing is that you get to help us write the next chapter of Troy football. A lot of players on these other teams, they don't get to say that. But you're gonna have ownership in this process, son. It's like I tell everyone, if you buy in, it'll pay off.
Tell him about the monster.
Oh, yeah, no, the Dewey Lake Monster. We didn't get to that.
Well, of course I've never seen it. I've just talked to a whole lot of Troy players over the years who have. At least they say they did.
Dewey Lake Monster lives on the tales of folklore, oftentimes woven around the truth.
Lots of eyewitness accounts, all the way back to the 1960s. People say it's like a Bigfoot or something.
With only the lights from their flashlights, the pair saw the figure standing about 120 yards out in the field. And they say it was no bear.
That's bullshit.
Well, you say that, and I don't blame you for saying that. But I saw it with my own two eyes. It was big, huge, bigger than any person, but it walked around like a person. It wasn't a bear. I've seen it twice. Both times it clearly didn't mean no harm.
What's funny to me is that y'all have only seen the one.
Only the one, and never up close. Who knows? Maybe it was the last of its kind, and when everybody stopped dying, it was the only one left.
Is this thing real?
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
Well, do you have any proof?
No.
Well, then how are you so sure?
Yep.
Honestly, mood.
Yeah?
But you know, that's just one of many legends of this field. All kinds of crazy things. You know, our stadium is actually just a block away from where our basketball team scored 258 points in a single game against DeVry. 258 points in a regulation 40-minute basketball game.
It was 253.
Oh, it's 258. Guarantee you it's 258. Anyways, you know, there's lots of storied history around our field. Stuff you'll never find anywhere else but Troy.
God, I love that game.
It's beautiful.
There was so little reinvention in those days. I mean, that was in the 1990s?
Yep.
You know, that game made it into my residual memory. I was about 25 years old at the time. Of course, I wasn't awake yet, but I can search my memory and it's there. For whatever reasons, angry things had a much better chance of sticking. That made so many people so mad.
DeVry, which is a computer technology and business school best known for advertisements on late-night cable television, has no business playing basketball. Bush
Damn.
League. Bush League. That's about all you can say about the whole affair. DeVry deserves better than that. Troy State deserves better than that. Basketball deserves better than that. Silly, sick joke. As exciting and heartwarming as watching an old, sickly dog be put to sleep. It smacks of a barnyard odor. It's tacky and childish.
Calm down. Jesus Christ. Like, pick a hobby instead. Any hobby. Take up checkers. Get really good at the cup and ball game. Anything but this.
People weren't ready for a game as revolutionary as Troy State DeVry. It was essentially a cooperative game. DeVry did try to score. I mean, they scored 141 points themselves, but they agreed to run down the floor and shoot as fast as they could. They worked together with Troy State to push the pace and help them accomplish their state goal of 200 points in a game. Since then, there have been all kinds of games like that in every sport, with both teams working together towards some common goal or another. That game was centuries ahead of its time back in those days. Sports and rules were almost the same thing.
God, I'm glad I wasn't alive back then. Maybe that's why I'm so well adjusted.
It's true. 258 to 141. Troy State crushes DeVry Institute in record-shattering performance.
There we go. Now, there's one more thing I gotta tell you about. How familiar are you with the Lake Ober? You been out there? You know what goes on out there?
Huh?
Lake Ober, like southern Great Lakes. You familiar with the geography?
Pretty good.
Uh-oh. Here's where you learn about the sharks.
Yeah. See, in these lakes and in the Mississippi Sea to the west, there's a lot of fields. It's legal to cross those fields in the water, provided you're not using motor power. You could use a rowboat or a kayak or a canoe or something. If you really want to work out, I suppose you could swim. Teams used to use those fields a lot. Lots of important throughways there. Real important strategically. Then about 500 years ago, the sharks showed up. They'll come get you any time, day or night. But right around sunup or sundown seems to be their favourite. The water's real still. A lot more still than you'd figured lakes this big to be. Real quiet. You'll be canoeing along and the only noise you hear is your paddle when it dips in the water. Maybe some wind. It's real empty. Gives you lots of time to think about the world and you and your place in it. Once in a while you'll come across something peeking out of the water. Something the water couldn't quite cover up. And you almost feel good for what's still standing, in a way. I don't know if it works like this. I mean, hell, I'm no architect or, engineer or anything like that. But you look at it and think, well, standing so high all those years must have been hard work. They don't have to stand anymore. They get to float now. They did their job, and now they don't have to work so hard. Anyways, point is, it's a nice little boat ride for a little while. And so you're floating along, making your way along. Nobody ever sees them coming. You never do. We don't know who the sharks play for. Nobody does. Nobody's got a good enough look at them. We think there might be as many as 12 of them. Nobody really knows that either. But it's at least 4 or 5. What they do is they wait under the surface for a long time. I guess they got scuba gear or something. Out of nowhere, you'll see a bunch of hands reach up and grab the side of the boat. They'll flip you with so much force there's nothing you can do. You're just in the water. If you're dumb enough to try to sail a football across the sea, they'll take it. Even if you're just trying to pass through in peace, though, they'll come after you anyway, just to scare the hell out of you. It doesn't even matter that your life's not in danger, because every second you spend in that water, you're just waiting on it to happen. People don't go on those seas much anymore, for any reason. They're scared off, all because of them. And nobody even knows who the hell they are.
Fuck that. I fucking hate boats.
Well, listen, son. There's a reason I told you all this. And it's a thing that, it comes along with playing Trojan football. In order to get to any other field, you have to cross the water. No way around it. We have to do it all the time. And it's not like you get flipped all the time. I'd say I get flipped in the water every 5th time I'm out there or so. I'd say you get used to it. But I'll tell you the truth. I really don't. Troy's the only field that's like that. Every other team around here can take a detour around the lake. Not us. That's the cross we have to bear. But you know what? I think that only makes us stronger. We've got to go through a lot on this field. But that's gonna make us tougher and more resilient as we continue to rebuild this program. There's a lot of...
Hey, where's the bathroom?
Oh, it's right around the corner there. Just down there and make a left.
Okay.
Hun, it's not over there. That's the front door.
Wait, where are you going? You're gonna step off the field. He's gonna step off the field. Son, you've only got 10 seconds to make it back before you're kicked out of the game. Son, what are you doing?
Fuck you, Rice.
Well, hell.
I'm sorry, Gunner.
It happens more and more now.
You'll get this program going. I know you will.
I hope so.
Hold on, I gotta make a phone call. It's always the hardest part of being commissioner.
Ooh, official business.
Can't wait.
Ring, 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 ring.
Well, hello. Is this Brad Schaefer I'm speaking to? Yeah. Number 17 for the Troy Trojans? I don't know, man. Mr. Schaefer, this is the bowl game commissioner. I'm unfortunately calling to inform you you've been ejected from the game due to an out of bounds violation. As you had no OBT accrued at the time of the incident, you are required to surrender your roster spot and leave the game. I don't give a shit. Now, as commissioner, I must inform you are permanently prohibited from rejoining any team or participating. Fuck you, bitch!
Click. Man, I mean, good for him for walking off the job. Fuck jobs.
From a certain perspective, these lakes make a lot of sense. An immortal person is not a perfect person, and an eternal life is not a perfect life. I'm living forever, right? All three of us are?
We've scanned our trajectories for the next 50 billion years, and yep, smooth sailing.
Same for everybody down there?
Yep. For those who lost their homes in the encroaching water, it was a traumatic experience, but they all made it.
Wonder if they ever see it like I do. I look at myself and I see imperfections. Half the time, I don't know what's going on. Apparently, I'm going to wake up for a few weeks at a time, cruise for a couple of millennia, and do it again. My batteries suck, my data storage core is rote memory, wires that were literally sewn into the board at patterns of ones and zeros. These imperfections will persist until the end of time, and there's nothing I can do about that. My life will never be a perfect one. Those lakes and the ruins that stick out of them remind me that it's not supposed to be. This is not heaven. Waters rise and batteries fail. This is a universe in which things can still fuck up. And that's where I belong. I belong here. I can't tell you how good that feels.
You know, you could argue that this, functionally speaking, is a heaven of sorts. Perfection is the end of the road. Why the hell would you want to be at the end of the road?
I wouldn't. I like it here. So tell me about the sharks.
Oh man, absolute menace. Struck terror in every team in the nation for centuries. Horrifying ability to strike without warning. Stolen so many footballs that teams advance all the way up to Missouri just to avoid the region. Single-handedly influences the geographic footprint of college football. Inspiration for countless ghost stories. Fucking amazing, basically.
Who do they play for?
I mean, shit. You want to talk to the Sharks? I could arrange a call.
God, yes, I'd love that. I have to learn more about these people.
People. Oh,
Like,
I thought
that was
inspirational. I don't think
beautiful. It was
ominous.
beautiful, but just the fact of, haha, yeah, people.
No, I thought it was more like
Well, I think
it was more of a people. Yeah, people are like this. This is what people are like. It's
That is
Yeah, it
true.
was more of a reminder of they are still people.
Yeah, that- I mean, that
I
is
don't think
fair.
it was ominous. I think it was
I mean, I'm
beautiful.
pairing-
I think
Unless it turns out later on that they are not in fact people, in which case that will be very ominous.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just sharks with hands.
They paired so
Mm.
well with the ghost story that we heard of the Scottish man say in Connor's voice.
Mm.
That's where I'm just like, oh, people, terrifying. But at the same time, that
Yeah.
whole monologue between 10 and 9 was just so sweet. I liked it.
All right. Well, that was that's it for tonight.
Hell yeah.
We
Hell
have we got one stream's worth of of 20,020 left, but unfortunately 2 weeks from now is the day that I fly to Calgary.
Oh,
So this is in fact our last stream of 2023.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
gasp. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck, it's December.
It is
Yeah,
just-
I've been recording a bunch of stuff like ahead of time and like uploading things as often as I can
Yeah.
so I can get the stuff out that I want to get done before the end of the year
Mhm.
in time.
No, for sure.
But yeah, this is the last stream of the year.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All
This
right.
was a fun one.
Well,
This was a very fun one.
this was a fun
It's
one.
a good one.
We were playing things a little fast and loose today.
When
It's gonna be a night. This is gonna be a nightmare for editing, Connor.
I'm so sorry,
well,
editing
I'm
Connor.
sorry. It was a very long day at work. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Well, thank you for watching. If you've been watching live or on the VOD, appreciate you being here. If you're watching the edited version or you're watching live or the VOD, and you liked this, I think you can click the like button on in any case. You can leave your thoughts in the comments as well as other things you'd like to hear us read dramatically. If you haven't subscribed, now's a good time to do that. You can go to the Fourth Wall site, get some merch, be a member. You'll want to be a member before so that you can get the freaking blooper reel for this as well as 1770-76 when that comes out.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. But other than that, seeing as this is the last stream of 2023, just want to say thank you for... this channel grew a fuck ton over this past year.
It did.
It's been awesome. You're almost about to hit 500.
Yeah, I started this year, I think around maybe, I don't know if it was 200 or 300 something.
About 250.
It was 250, and we've now, almost, pretty much tripled that within a single year. But yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah, we got mom of twins.
You want some eggs?
You want some
want
kids?
some
You want some you want some post video content?
Yeah, boy.
This
You
is
want some
Linda.
nice nasty post?
Eddie, do not put me in the
video
salad
content.
spinner.